Folks, one of the things I love to do at one rental at a time is talk to other experts in the market, in the deals, talking to customers, looking at properties. And in order to do that, we're going to bring on Matt, the mortgage guy, who just had 8 conversations with selling agents, talk about what's going on. And unfortunately, we are seeing a bifurcation in the market. And it's exactly what we've been talking about on this channel. Matt, what you got? What's the story?
Yeah, so I think it's interesting. As much as people will think I've got bias, hey, you're a mortgage broker, you're in real estate, so you're going to say that, you know, things are always great. I'm going to report on what's happening, and then take that information and do with it what you will. But I'm telling you this is happening because I've got a mortgage business where we've got 135 people pre-approved. We've got people shopping for houses. When they submit offers, we're calling the listing agent to, you know, truth be told, sweet talk them, right?
Yeah,
our client's well qualified. We've got a full file. We can close it quickly. All the things that give them the warm and fuzzies to be more likely to accept an offer. When I make these calls, I make it a point to dig and get information because I'm interested about what's going on in the housing market. Yeah. And it blows my mind. And I think it's hard for somebody who's not in the game, in the trenches, to really understand it, that at the entry level, and, you know, Sacramento, California, we'll call entry level 500,000-ish. Properties are listed at $499. Our clients are offering $520. When I call, we're not the top offer. We're one of 9. It's competitive. It's not 2021 competitive, but it's funny because there's this side of the spectrum, and then there's our buddy Patrick Bet David, phenomenal in a lot of ways. And the guy is smart as a whip. But when I hear him talking about, all I see is 500K price cuts, all I see is that, well, no shit, you're looking at $4 million properties.
He's looking at $20 million properties.
Right.
Come on.
Right. And so of course you see price cuts and everything's going down, but at the entry level, in my market where I'm stationed, and a lot of markets across the country that we're working in, it's just not the case. It's the exact opposite.
I'm hearing it every day, right? I've been very clear. I was, near as I know, the first person to break down the housing market into entry, move up, and luxury. I, near as can tell, the first person to talk about the difference between luxury and move up, or entry level. And I can tell you every day, every single day, I get comments from first-time home buyers saying no inventory, win over asking. I'm one of 7, one of 8 buyers. The entry-level home is scarce. And oh, by the way, I don't have good news. What did we learn? Did you see the February existing home sales up 14.5% yesterday?
Yeah, January to February. That's what I was going to tell people. Like, we're just getting started. Like, the momentum, like, this is the beginning of seasonality. This is the beginning of this. And so I've changed it where I don't want rates to go down. And as a home buyer, you shouldn't want rates to go down either. You don't want to be in an environment where it takes 100,000 above list to get something accepted because the demand is up here and the supply is down here. With the current rates, you've got demand at a reasonable level where entry level, it's competitive, but it's not impossible. And so, like, all the buyers I'm talking to, I feel good about the fact that they've just said, you know what, I'm come to terms with it. I'm going to spend this much. I'm going to buy my rate down to 5.99. It's a higher payment than I initially thought I was going to get myself into, but I can afford it, fits in my budget, off and go. If you hope for rates to come down to 5, know that with that comes 5x the buyers, and all of a sudden you're in bidding wars. You have to release your appraisal contingency. All of that stuff was so unhealthy that that's the last thing we want.
Yeah, I'll even go one further because, again, my degree's in economics. I've been studying data and real estate for some odd years. What we learned with February is we have empirical evidence of the following supply-demand demand is happening, and this is what it is. When interest rates get down to 6%, we see marginal buyers come off the sidelines, so demand goes up. You can't argue. It's a fact. Unfortunately, as I've said and had many people tell me, it does not unlock supply. So I ask you, even if you don't have an economic degree, if demand goes up and supply stays constant, What the hell happens?
Prices
Tell
go
me.
up and it gets hard. And that's not what we want. So,
No, we don't
yeah.
want rates at, dude, rates at 5% would be wildly unhealthy. What? Wildly unhealthy.
Right.
So again, we need time. I don't have good news either. The Fed broke housing, as you've heard me say, they broke it years ago. We're going to pay for it for years to come. I've asked people, actually, you know what? Why ask you? Well, ask the audience watching this. If you had a 2.5% mortgage, what interest rate would your new home loan have to be for you to even consider selling that first home? What's the number, Matt?
For me personally, it's sub 4%, which I don't even know if we get to. Like
exactly
ever.
my point. But no, this is the point. So I had first off, that's not my question. I got that question from a subscriber. Awesome question, because it caused me to think. But my answer was 4%. If I had a 2.5, 2.8, 2.9, what would I be willing to move up? It's 4%. Because yeah, a better bedroom, a newer home, a better school district, whatever. But it ain't 6. So the problem is we now know demand picks up at 6 in an environment where supply is inelastic until 4%.
Right.
This is a problem for years.
There's plenty of people that view the 2.5 as an asset and say, I don't care what the rate gets to, I'll find the down payment to buy forward and I'm keeping this. And so there's just a mass amount of supply that is locked with this interest rate where it's going to take an event for that person to want to sell. You know, personally,
probably several events.
Right.
Several events.
The properties that I own, I would be stupid to sell ever.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So there was somebody that we both know that was featured in a Fortune article about 8 days ago, talking about interest rate lock-in, all of that. Quite excited to get in Fortune for the first time. So that was quite the coup for me. So yeah, it's a real deal. So Matt, do me a favor. Where can people find you? Because I know the spring buying market has started. There's just no supply. So if somebody wanted to work with a professional, how would they do that?
Go to greatmortgagebroker.com, get yourself pre-approved. There's a bunch of benefits to getting pre-approved, whether it's with us or with somebody else. You want to know your numbers, and then also you want to work with a professional that's going to reach out to the list side, that's going to demonstrate
the extra mile,
your credibility and the strength of your financing. Because if you're in a market or you're a first-time home buyer that's competing against 9 other offers, we had one down in Southern California where the buy side told me last night, they said, you know what? I don't know what you told the listing agent, but this listing agent was saying that the conversations she had with you are the reason why they're accepting this offer. And I just told her that we do a thorough job. When we pre-approve somebody and then I reach out with a phone call to say, I'm a living, breathing person, this isn't automation, it makes them feel more comfortable that the loan is going to close, as it should. So make sure you're connecting with somebody who's going to do those things for you. Greatmortgagebroker.com is how you connect with me and my team. We'd be happy to help.
Yeah, Matt goes the extra mile. That's why he's back each and every week. Give him a call, see what's what. Thanks, buddy. Take care.
Thanks, Mike.